Okay, oh, here she is. I should have been looking at the screen. Right. Just get the towel. Ready to go. Let me put everybody on silent there. Yep, we're all on silent. So, we are going to start ourselves. Hi Sue. Hi Sue. We're going to get started straight off. I'm going to put you on mute, but we want you in sitting on the floor to begin with, ready to go in a position where you've got your head pillow, your head towel behind you, ready for support for when we get back there. And we're going to start in a nice tall sitting position. We're going to be doing some seated roll backs. We can start with our hands on the knees. We're going to try and let the toes relax down as far as your ankles will allow. And we want to be sat as high up on the bum bones as we possibly can. So we're going to try and get into that neutral position if your hips allow it. From there, we can either leave the hands on the knees, or if you can, the hands come off the knees, hands out in front. And we just start by just lowering ourselves gently back and allowing the back to curve just a little. And then we come back up nice and tall, trying to get yourself as tall as you can get, and then just bringing it back a little bit. And for you beginners, just take it to the point where you feel things start to shake a little bit, and that's your threshold. You go no further back than that on following reps. But we need to do a few repetitions to learn how far back we can go with this. So we're looking for the barrier where those tummy muscles just say, that's enough, I can't take you any further. Then we come up tall. We've got our usual grapefruit tucked under the chin, and each time just looking a little bit further if we can to get ourselves back and down toward the mat that little bit further. Each time it's a small increment further, breathing out as you lower yourself down, breathing in as you come back up. And I'm just getting the judder now, so I know I'm in the right zone. And we're going to do one more repetition. And it may be that you're strong enough to get yourself right down onto the mat and right back up without any judder. If you can, good for you. Okay, we'll do one more repetition there. And then when you go back, I want you to allow yourselves, even if you need your hands to help it, to come back onto the floor. Take hold of one knee, take hold of the other. We'll do a little bit of a knee hug, a little bit of a roll like a ball. And we'll just give that back a little bit of a stretch in there. Because we've not done any of the standing work and the roll down, we're going to do a little bit more mat work, stretching today. Okay, and then what we're going to do is roll ourselves back up into that standing position, nice and tall on the bum bones. This time we're going to go for the oblique roll back. Watch me to remind yourself. I'm going to open my left arm a little as I roll back. So the same movement plus a little bit of rotation. Right arm comes out as I roll back, okay? And again, it's small increments, getting a little bit further each time if you can. So it's not just a case of putting your hand back to touch the floor, it's a case of allowing that back to do the curl as well at the same time. Breathing out as you lower yourself down, breathing in as you come back up. Breathing out as you lower yourself down, breathing in as you come back up, looking for that threshold. When does the judder come? Find that threshold where it's a bit wobbly, don't go any further than that. Keep your knees as still as you can. We're going to do 2 more on each side. Good stuff. 1 more on each side. Nice and tall. Last one. Okay, roll back into the floor. Take hold of the knees again, give them a little bit of a hug. Just roll the lower back away from the floor so you feel like you're getting your hips off the floor as you do this. Open your knees a little bit if you need to let the hips go. Just a couple of those rocks. Okay, and then we're going to put feet back onto the floor. Now we're going to do something called abdo prep, but we're doing the oblique version. We've done abdo prep before, we've done it loads of times. That's the one where we've got both hands behind the head and we're just curling up. We're now going to do an oblique version. So your hand is down by your side, left hand by your side, right hand just gently behind the head. And all we're going to do is think about peeling the right shoulder blade away from the floor. So my left arm raises off the floor first, and then I peel the right shoulder blade. And I'm trying not to tuck my elbow in. I keep the elbow out, and then I lower it back down. I go again, and all the time we're respecting that neutral lumbar spine. Do not allow neutral spine to flatten into the floor. And we're going to do just a few repetitions just to get into the groove of this movement. Okay. One more after the one you're doing now. And then you can have a quick look at me so I can show you the next bit. So this time we're going to hold that oblique prep. Hand is floating, right elbow up. I lift the left leg up, I take it down. I'm still holding the abdo prep, but I'm just doing this isolated leg movement whilst holding that position. So if you're in there already, good. If you're not, get going. So it's my left leg is coming up and down, my right shoulder blade off the floor. We're going to aim for maybe 8 repetitions. We've probably done 3 or 4 so far, so 4 more reps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Relax that down, let that right shoulder blade, right elbow go down. Right hand comes down by your side, left hand comes behind the head. We're going to peel that left shoulder blade off the floor. Remember, the right arm just floats a little bit to begin with. Left shoulder blade comes off the floor, gently back. Think about what's happening in the lower back. Are you flattening that back into the floor, or are you able to keep that back still? We're not doing the leg lift yet, Carl. Keep the leg down. We're just doing a few reps just to get into the groove. Okay, and on the next repetition, you're going to hold it up there. Keep it up there. Lift the right leg up, back down. So left elbow stays up, right knee comes up and down for 8, and that's 2. 3, really keeping that left shoulder blade off the floor. 4, still breathing. 5, 6, 7, last one there. Okay, back down with the foot, back down with the shoulder, have a little rest there. Okay, so those tummy muscles, we've warmed them up a little bit. We're going to make them do a little bit more work now. So we're going to use that abdo prep movement, but we're going to hold the leg up in position. So this is a basic version before we take it up to a harder version. So consider this one to come back to if you need to, or you can go back to anything we've already done today. So I'm going to be taking the left leg into tabletop position. Right hand behind my head. It's the same movement that we've just been doing, but it's kind of the other way around. Left arm is lifted, and now I'm going to peel. I'm going to take my right elbow up as high as I can, and then gently back down. Now when I say up as high as I can, it's as far as I can go without flattening that neutral lumbar spine. Okay, so I come back down, and then I bring it back up. That's number 3. We're going to aim for 10. So that left leg stays still. 4, 5, 6, 7, and that left hand is just reaching a little bit further down. 8 as you go. So the right elbow comes up, left hand goes down a bit. 9, last one. Good work. Have a little breather, have a little moment. We're going to switch sides. Our right leg is going to be coming into tabletop position, left hand behind the head. Right arm just floats above the floor. I'm taking left shoulder blade off the floor and then coming back down. So we're repeating the body, the oblique curl. 2, 3, paying attention to that neutral lumbar spine still. 4, breathing out as we come up. Breathing in as we come down. 6, 7, 8, 9, last one there. Okay, good, relax off, let that foot relax down. So I suppose different to maybe like a traditional crunch that you might have done before, we're still keeping that neutral curve in the back. So we're very much making sure that that spine and pelvis is staying quite still and everything is happening around that. Now we're going to be using double leg tabletop, but we're still going to have only one hand in on the head and one arm down by your side when we do this. Have a quick look so you know what it looks like. So I'm going to go for double leg tabletop. I've used my imprint. I've got my flat tummy, curve in the lower back for the neutral. Left arm down by my side, right elbow, right hand behind the head. Peel the right shoulder blade up, bring it back down. Okay, so we're doing repetitions, 10 reps on each side. So up into double leg tabletop. Off you go when you're ready for 1, 2. So the legs must stay absolutely still if we can. 3, 4, 5. Get those knees just a little bit further away from you, Sue. 6, 7. Good work, Renata. 8, 9. And last one, do not collapse. 1 foot down at a time. Have a little bit of a rest there. Okay, have a quick look if you need a breather and you want to see what I'm doing. Imprint, double leg tabletop. I'm now going left leg. Watch what happens with my elbow. I'm making sure I'm not tucking my elbow across. I'm not letting my chest help here. I'm making this all come through the tummy rather than the shoulder. Okay, so legs stay still. Left arm up, ready to go. Right hand is floating. Off we go for 1. Shoulder blade peels away from the floor. 2, 3. Breathing out as we come up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, starting to shake. 9, last one if you're still going there. Good work. Oh yeah, right, 1 foot down at a time. So that's all about using those oblique muscles, these diagonal lines of muscle. Your pec muscle comes into those muscles a little bit, so we often do use the shoulder to make up if we're a little bit weak or if we're getting tired. You can cope with that, or you can eliminate that by really keeping that elbow back as you do the exercise. It's going to keep those tummy muscles in the game a little bit longer. Okay, now we're going to stay in this position laid on our back. I'm going to put into this double leg stretch. Now, the beginners, you may not have done this before, so let's give it a go. We're going to start off with level 2. It requires a little bit of coordination. So it's a good one to start with. It's not high intensity in terms of strength, but it is high coordination. So you can, if you're on a slidey floor, you can move your mat or your towel or whatever, so your heels are on the floor, because that will help. If you've got to hover your heel, if you're on a carpet, that's fine, but it will make the exercise a little bit harder. For those of you that know what's going on here, you can start it when I do. If you don't, have a quick look. I'm going to start with both arms by my side. Both arms are going to lift and float over the top of my body as one knee straightens out, only one knee. Both arms come around the side, floating above the floor as that foot comes back to its start position. So as my arms come to my hips, my left foot is back in position. Right foot now straightens out, arms over the top, and then back around. Now, in case you couldn't guess what I'm going to say, make sure you keep that neutral lumbar spine in place as you take those arms back. As those arms go over the top, they have a tendency to lever your chest up and then your lower back. So this is all about maintaining the tummy muscle length the same throughout. Breathing out as you reach back, breathing in as you come back around to the side. And if you're finding hovering the heel above the floor, a little bit more challenging, you can minimise the challenge by not fully straightening the knee out. So you don't need to go all the way with the movement, you just go as far as you can. I want to see you do this because I want to see the coordination, see how well I've taught you so far. That's looking good. Well done, Jill, that's looking pretty perfect, well done. Good control there, Renata, everything's looking pretty tickety-boo there. Okay. Alright. Oh, alright, you're finding that easy, that's fine. Let's make it a little bit harder, shall we? Let's have a little bit of a rest there. So that's our go-to version to make it easier. What we're going to try and do now is a double leg tabletop version of this. Now, watch me do it before you have a go, because it's very easily done wrong. Yes, we imprint so we can get into double leg tabletop safely. Just look at the leg movement before the arms. I'm going to straighten one knee out, 45-degree angle at the hip. The other knee stays at a right angle. What is not happening is that right knee comes toward me as the left leg goes away. So we're not doing some kind of cycling motion. One leg must stay still, okay? So of course we're going to float those arms over the top as the knee straightens, bring the arms around the side as that leg comes back. Right leg straightens as the arms go back, right knee bends as the arms come back to the hips. Keep that cycle going. Do not allow the knees to encroach any closer towards your chest. They tend to do that because it is a bit easier. And we're breathing out as we take those arms back. We're breathing in as we bring them back around the side. All the time keeping that neck nice and soft, chin soft into the throat. Go for that 45-degree angle at the hip if we can, so it's more up than it is out. Good work, Sue, good control. Nice angles, lovely. We don't really want that leg to have to bounce at the end of a range. So next time that arms are by the side, let them go there, one foot down, followed by the other, okay. Have a little bit of a rest there. So I've got one more bit that we can add into that. We're going to bring into this abdo prep. Now, if you're at the previous level, where we were sliding the legs across the floor, as we did this, you can still add abdo prep. So abdo prep, chin rolls into the chest, the top of the shoulder blades are coming away from the floor, but I can still do a movement. Yes, the arms do not go back as far, that's fine. We can, though, add the abdo prep into the double leg tabletop and do the very same thing again. Arms do not go back as far. Do not let your chin lift away from your chest if you're going to do this. If you can't keep it down, take it back to the floor. So choose your level. I'm going to go to the double leg tabletop. I'm going to roll my chin onto the chest, keep it there. One leg goes away as the arms go out. My shaky voice starts, so I'm not going to talk too much. Breathing out as we take the arms back, in as we come back in. Keep that going. 45-degree angle at the hip, remember, more up than out. Well done, Eileen, good control there. And then the next time those arms are by your side, arms down, head slowly down. Okay. So we're giving those tummy muscles a little bit of a workout there, haven't we? They've been woken up, I hope. So we're going to give them a little bit of a stretch now. You wouldn't ever really think of stretching your tummy muscles, but when you do lots of work where we're trying to shorten them, they can get a bit stiff and tight. And particularly if you're one of those people that has difficulty because you sit all day, you then have difficulty being able to extend, that needs those tummy muscles to be able to stretch. So we're going to do a bit of stretching. You've done it before. In yoga and Pilates, they call it the Sphinx. We're going to turn over onto our fronts. We'll have our head pillow just out of the way. We're going to be down on our front. We're going to have the hands out at sort of above head level, if you like. Toes relaxed away. I want you to think about pushing your pubic bone down into the floor by gently clenching your bum muscles. And I told some of you I would never say clench your bum muscles. This is the only time it's okay. Okay, so pushing down with the hips, pushing up with the hands. The elbows are straight, big deep breath in, and as you breathe out, let the tummy sag. Lower yourself back down, onto the elbows, have a little moment there. Can you bring the hands a centimetre closer towards you? We go up again, we push the pubic bone down, chest up as high as you can. Nice deep breath, and as you breathe out, let the tummy sag. Gently back down. Okay, hands in a little bit closer if they will go. Keep the front of the pubic bone down, chest lifted, chin tucked, deep breath in, and let that tummy sag as you breathe out. We're going to do one more increment if you can go any further, so a little bit closer with the hands. Push those elbows out straight, hips down, deep breath in, breathe it out, and lower down. Good stuff. So we're going to go into swan dive here. We're going to be bringing in those shoulder blade muscles. You're going to need your head support again. I'm going to give a basic version, then I'm quickly going to take it up to a harder version. So the basic version, we're going to have hands just by the side of your face, basically, with your forehead supported down on your pillow or your towel. The basic version is leaving the arms down, but just lifting the head just a little, chin stays tucked in toward the throat. As ever, we're paying attention to what's happening in the lower back. So we do not want to feel like this effort comes from the lower back. So the head comes up, we hold there for a moment, we then slowly lower back down. Quite basic, but if you've a history of neck problems, this is actually quite challenging to hold. So we're going to go for another couple of repetitions and then we're going to do a sustained hold. I want you to think about keeping the shoulder blades set down your back. Once you're up there, hold it there in this position now. And we're going to think about that chin tucking up in towards your throat, shoulder blades set down by your back, tailbone slightly tucked down between your buttocks, which will engage those tummy muscles a little bit. Try not to press through your hands and forearms too much. And we're going to keep breathing as we hold that position. We're not in and out of it now, we're holding. And we'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax down. So that's our basic. Now we're going to take it up a notch where we bring the arms into the equation. So we're going to be lifting the head as we've just done in level 1, but then lifting the forearms and hands away from the floor, just an inch, hands just as high as the elbows, and then hands down, elbows down, head down. Let's go up again, hold that there with the head, bring the arms up, keep the neck long, slowly down with the arms, head down. We're going to do 3 more and then we're going to do a hold. Lift those arms up, we keep breathing, chin tucked, arms down, head down. And again, up with your head, up with the arms down, head down. Next one's a hold for 10 if you can. You either bring your arms with you or you don't. Bring the head up, bring the arms up, neck long, tailbone tucked down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest those arms down, rest the head down. Gently bring yourself up onto your hands and knees, and we're going to do a little roll back. Push your bum down towards your heels, having tucked your tailbone down between your buttocks as you do so. Whilst I just refresh my memory on what we're going to next. Lovely jubbly, bit more tummy work for us now. Nice deep breath whilst we're in this roll back position. One more deep breath. Okay, and then we come back up. So we're going to do a familiar one to you now, the leg pull series. This is where we kind of start on hands and knees and toes are tucked under, and we're going to be lifting the knees. We'll start off with a nice easy one and then we'll quickly take it up into something a little bit more challenging. So, shoulders are over wrists, hips are over knees. We've got our neutral under spine after doing a couple of those pelvic tilts, and the chest is lifted, chin is tucked. And all I'm going to do is lift both knees, and we're just going to hold that there. We're going to go for 10, 9, I'm going to come and look at you, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely, lower yourself down. Okay, nice and easy. That's your basic version, harder version for you guys. I've learned my lesson on this one, so I'm not doing it again. We're just going to do legs only with this one. We're going to bring ourselves into that same position, keeping the back nice and still. Take one leg away, bring that back there. Put the weight back on the foot, the left leg goes away, and then we bring it back. So if you're going for the harder version, that's what we're going to do, 5 reps on each side. And we're going to stay in position for out. So we'll go right leg, out, in and down. Left, straighten that knee out if you can. It doesn't have to be as high as your hip, in and down. In and down. Make sure those knees don't start to get too high off the mat. They're still only an inch away from the mat. That's 2. Still breathing. Breathing out as you reach. Breathing in as you come back. That's 3. Keep that neutral. Keep that chest lifted. That's 4. One more on each side. Keep the chest up, chin tucked. Last one. Lower those knees down. Roll that bum back towards your heels again. And just have a couple of breaths there. Okay, now, next level. We're going to be going up into the full high plank position now. Make sure your pillow and towel's out of the way. From here, we're going to take the hands out a little bit further if we can. You can stay at the previous level, or this is the progression. We lift the knees, we go out into full plank. And all you're really thinking of here is you're focusing on technique and your position. That we've got that straight line from the shoulders all the way down to the heels, and then we would push it back, knees hover, knees lower. Okay, let's try that again. Lift the knees, take it away, keep the chest lifted, hold, keep that nice and still for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly float back, lower the knees back down. We're going to do that again as a sustained hold if we can. If you prefer to just lift the knees and stay there, that's cool. If you can, lock those knees out. Tense up the front of those thighs. Keep the chest lifted for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Float back, lower down, have a little moment. Got one layer left to add into this, and that's the leg lift. We've done it before. Don't feel that you've got to do this, only do it if you know you can control. Have a quick look so you're sure you know what I'm talking about. Bring the feet and knees a little bit closer together for this. Still my hands are away from under my shoulders. I lift, I take it out into the high plank, and then I lift a leg, making sure that my body's not rotating. I put it down, I do the other side, and we're going to do 5 on each side. So just pause for a moment, have a little rest. We'll all do it together if we're going to do it, or we hold it as a static position, or one of the previous levels. So we're going to lift the knees, we take it away, get that plank right, make sure your body's in a nice straight line. We lift the right, hold and lower. Lift the left, hold and lower. Have a breath. Lift the right, hold and lower. Switching sides, having a breath between each one. That's 2. You don't need to lift too high. That's 3. Remember, we're trying to keep our neutral, keep our legs straight. Left, 4. Last one, keep the chest up, chin tucked. Still working. When that left foot is down, hover back, lower the knees, roll your bum back towards your heels. Another deep breath in that position. Okay, now, be glad to know the tummy work's over. We're going to be coming into sideline to do a bit of glutes work. So have a turn onto your side facing this way. So I'm going to run through something quite basic and then quickly take it up into a harder level so that you've got something a bit more challenging to do. And if you want to, you stick at that basic level. So we're going to be doing the climb. We're going to start off with level 2. So I'm going to be dead on my side with my knees bent, feet and knees stacked on top of one another, feet in line with my body, gap under the waist, neutral on the spine, hand on the hip with the elbow pointing up, feet lift 6 or 8 inches from the floor, and then I just open that top knee and lower it down. And I'm only opening it or lifting it as high as I can go without rolling my pelvis backwards. Okay? So let's keep that one going for a few repetitions. 4, we're going to go up to 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Knees down, lower down. Straighten the legs out, place the hand on the floor. Climb level 3, we're going to bring that top foot back up, foot hooks in behind the knee, lower the knee toward the floor if it will go, lift the knee up from there. So the top of your right foot, or whichever foot is topmost, stays in contact with the back of the bottom knee, if that makes some sense. And whilst we're doing this, quick body scan, neck nice and relaxed, do not press your head down into your arm. Top shoulder nice and relaxed down. Fingers and toes as relaxed as they can be. 5, we're going for 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, good stuff. We're going to go into side kick level 1, so we've got a basic version to start with, but we'll quickly take it up into that harder level if we can. So we're going to keep the knees bent to a right angle. Notice I've taken my knees back so the knees are in line with the rest of the body. I have my gap under the waist. Hand can either be on the floor or it can be on the hip here, wherever you want it, wherever feels most comfortable. Top knee and foot lifts. Knee is fixed at a right angle. Take it forward. Now, we can keep the knee bent at a right angle because that's a short lever. That's a little bit easier to control. Or what we can do here is straighten that top knee and just work with a straight leg on the top but a bent leg at the bottom. Keeping that foot at hip height and only going as far forwards as your neutral lumbar spine can control. You'll notice that taking it too far forwards and your back just starts to slump a little bit. Keep that top shoulder settled down, breathing throughout. Toes pointing forwards, one more repetition there. Okay, top leg relaxes down. Have a little breathe for a moment. A shade harder, we're going to straighten both legs now. Hand on the floor for the support, or if you can manage it, hand on the hip. I recommend you start with the hand on the floor. So we lift that top leg and we go forward from there. And if you feel like your control and balance is quite good, then we go hand onto the hip. I can't deal with it, so I wobble all over, I put my hands back down. And we're going to go for 10 there. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Have a little bit of a rest there. Okay, well, one more layer to that exercise. And you can either go up to the next layer or you just stay at one of the previous versions. Same movement with straight legs, however the bottom leg is lifted. So I've got my gap under the waist. I'm paying particular attention that when I lift both legs, I have not collapsed my waist. Hand on the floor for support, for sure, with this one. And then that top leg goes forwards. But just be sure that as the top leg goes forwards, the bottom leg does not go backwards. It stays in position. That's 3. Shoulder rested down. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one there. Now we're going to do this all on the other side. We're going to be flipping from side to side a little bit now. So we're going to go through those on the other side. Have a turn over onto your opposite side to face me. We start with clam level 2. So we're going to have that top arm up ahead, gap under the waist. We're going to be lifting those feet up a little bit, keeping those feet in contact together. We open that top knee. And that hand is either on the floor for support, or really, if it can, it needs to go on the hip. And if you look at your forearm and elbow, it tells you everything you need to know as to how your pelvis is behaving. If your elbow's disappearing out of your peripheral vision, it means that your pelvis is rotating backwards as you lift the knee. So that elbow wants to remain pretty still. I have no idea how many we've done. There's only 2. Let's say 5, shall we? 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one there. Roll that down, feet down. Okay. Hand to the floor, straighten both knees. Top knee comes back up. Foot hooks in behind the bottom knee, and that knee just gently rolls back down toward the floor. And we're just going to roll that knee up and slowly lower it down. Roll that knee up and slowly lower it down. I think it's a strong and stable person that can do this one with the hand on the hip at the same time without wobbling around. I know I can't. So we're going to go for 3 more repetitions. 1, 2, 3. Knees come together, feet behind us, so the knees are bent to a right angle now. Gap under the waist, hand on the floor for support. Our beginning version of this, the side kick, level 1, knee and foot stay in line with the knee fixed at a right angle. So we're trying to keep that short lever under control with the hand on the floor as the knee comes forwards. Breathing out as you bring it forwards, breathing in as you come back. That's 3. We can try a straight leg version of that. 4, 5. So my bottom knees remains bent, but the top leg is straightened out. 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one there. And then we'll have a little bit of a rest. And we add a shade of difficulty now to narrow your base of support. Straightening the legs makes you wobblier. Hand on the floor to begin with. Remember, this is a one where we can put the hand on the hip if you feel like you can tolerate it. So, top leg lifts. Foot comes forwards. Make your choice. Can you put your hand on your hip and keep the upper body still? Or are you wobbling around like me? Put your hand back down if that's the case. 3, 4, toes pointed forwards throughout. 5, keep that going. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good work. There's some strong bums going on there. That's looking good, guys. Have a little rest. We'll give ourselves a little breather. I'll talk you through the next and last layer to that exercise. So the hand stays on the floor for sure with this one. We've got the gap under the waist because we're taking both feet up. Top leg lifts that little bit further, and then we go forward with that top leg, keeping the bottom leg still. Both knees stay straight. 2, 3, top shoulder nice and relaxed, neck, head nice and settled. I think that was number 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, feet go back down. Right then, so I've got side bend for you next. Side bend level 1, but we're going to do a bit of a knee kick with this one. So have a quick look at it. I know we've done it before, but we're going to be up in that position for a few repetitions of this, so we need to be comfortable on the shoulder. If you're not comfortable on the shoulder, maybe just give this one a sit out and do one of the previous levels, or do some stretching if you want to. Remember, with side bend level 1, elbow is under the shoulder, I've got the waist lifted, hand on the hip here to begin with, and we're going to go up into that side bend position, but we're going to hold it there, and then from there I'm going to lift this top knee. And that's not the only thing. I'm going to straighten the leg out, and then I bring that knee to the chest, and then I take it out again, and we're going to do 5 of these in this position. Okay, so let's relax back down, have a moment if you are joining me. Let's bring it back up. Okay, top knee lifts, straighten the leg, and we bring the knee up and we take it back out for 1, 2, getting that leg parallel with the floor, 3, keep those hips up, 4, 5, knee back together, gently back down. Have a moment, okay? If you want to come off your arm for a minute, do so. We're going to do that again, okay? Let's have a go. Hand on the hip. Bring those hips up and forwards. Lift the top knee, straighten the leg. We bring it up to the chest and away for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back over, back down. Good stuff. Now, this is where we can take it up a notch. If you're happy with that level, stay there. If you want to take it up, we're going to go up to the side bend level 2 position. So this is where that top foot's come over. Now, have a quick look before you have a go at this one. It's a bit more challenging, this. So we're going to come up into that position, okay? Sorry, no we're not. We're going to do hands down behind us to begin with, and then we're going to come up into that position with legs straight. I think we did this one in the last session, where we bring that hand through and take those bums up toward the ceiling, and then we bring it back to this position here, okay? So, if you're not already, get yourself ready to go with that arm down behind you. We're going to push those legs out straight, reaching those fingertips to the ceiling, reaching underneath you, taking your bum up to the ceiling as the hand comes under, come back up, and we're going to do 5 of these. Reach that through, bum goes up, 2. Bum goes up, 3, keep the knees as straight as you can, 4, 5, concertina back out of that position, have a little bit of a rest. We're going to do that one more time. Okay, I think we call this actually the teaser in Pilates parlance. I just say it's like side bend plus a bit of a rotation. We're going to go again. Let's take us up into this position, straight knees, reaching up, hand goes under, bum goes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, reaching through, coming back, concertina out, lovely jubbly. We're going to go over to the other side now. So we're going to go for the side bend with kick. Okay, so we're starting off with those knees together, on the elbow if we can go. If all you can manage is a side bend and a hold, that's all you do. Okay, but if we can, hand on the hip, let's get up into side bend position. We're going to bring that knee up, we're going to straighten the leg out, we're going to bring that knee up toward the chest, and then we straighten out for 1, 2, 3, keep this bottom hip nice and high, 4, last one there, top knee hovers over, closes down, hips go down and back, have a little bit of a rest. Okay, another set of 5 coming up. If you can only hold the position, that's fine. If you want to do the climb exercise, that's fine also. So from here, we go up and forwards, top knee lifts, straighten out, bring it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, keep that bottom hip nice and high, 5, and then hover the knee over, lower down and back. Watch me to remind yourself of the next level. I've gone up onto my hand, this knee comes out to the side, I've got my waist lifted, I'm going to take my hand nice and high. If you're not sure about the foot position, by the way, I've started there and all I've done is planted my foot in front of the bottom foot, and then from there I just push away, bring myself up to that position, and then I reach through, taking my bum up to the ceiling as I do so, and then come back. Okay, so we're going to go for 5 reps, 2 sets. Let's go. Push up, and then from there, reaching through as far as you can go, bum up to the ceiling, hand back up to the ceiling. Nice high side plank. 1, 2. Really push that floor away. 3, 4, 5. Concertina back out. Rest for a moment. Okay. We're going to do 1 more set of those. We're going to push through the floor, push through the hand, get yourself as high as you can go, reach that arm through, bum up to the ceiling. 1, back, 2, and back, 3, and back, 4, and back. 1 more repetition. And then concertina back out. Okay. Whew, that was a hard one. Right, so I've got 1 last exercise for you before we do a little bit of stretching. So this is the kneeling side bend with side kick, which is a mouthful. But it's easier to do than it is to say, I think. I'm going to start off in kneeling, clearly. Have a quick look at this if you can't remember it. All I'm going to do is lean over to my right, but as I lean to the right, my weight goes onto my right knee. My hand is ready to take my support. My knee is lifted. I'm going to straighten that leg out, and then from there, I'm going to be doing some slight kicks. I say slight, we only do little ones, okay? And then we come back out and we go over the other way. So we're going to do 5 reps on each side twice, okay? If I can remember to count to 5. So, going to your right first of all, leaning over onto the right knee, taking it over onto the right hand, hand onto the hip, top leg is out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring it back over. Take it over to the left, leg out, hand on the hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring it back over. Can we go over the other way? Gentle control to get into that position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last set. Take it over. Nice slow control. Hand on the hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push it back over. Okay. Well done. We're going to do a little bit of stretching just to finish off the show. And that should leave things, all these things that have been worked hard, hopefully get a bit of a chance to have a rest now and a bit of a stretch. So you're going to be going onto your back. You're going to have your head support ready for you. I think we'll start out with the glutes, the bum muscles, give them a little bit of a stretch. I've got 2 stretches for you. We're going to place right ankle over left knee. We're going to take hold of the right knee and we're going to pull the right knee toward the left shoulder. As you pull the right knee, take care of that neutral lumbar spine. Don't let your lower back flatten into the floor. Now, if you're pulling on your right knee and you think, that doesn't really stretch, take hold of the right ankle and pull it up the left thigh a little bit further. And you'll feel that just adds to the stretch a little bit. And we'll just hold that. Breathe the stretch out, as they would say in yoga. Try and let everything go and don't fight it. Another nice deep breath. Okay, and we're going to just let that right knee relax out. Now this is where you do lose your neutral. Your hands are going to go through and take hold of your left thigh. My hand has gone through the hole. My left hand has come round the side. I'm going to hug it up and just pull that left knee toward my chest. I can either have my head up or my head down. It doesn't really matter. So I get a slightly different buttock stretch. There's nothing Pilates about these stretches really, they're just good stretches I think. Nice deep breath, try and breathe it out, get a bit deeper into the stretch on your out breath. And then gently lower that foot back to the floor, right foot back to the floor, left ankle over right knee. Take hold of that left knee, pull the left knee to right shoulder. And again, keep the neutral. If you can, take hold of the left ankle, Pull the left ankle up toward the right hip a little bit more just to add to the stretch, but not at the expense of losing your neutral curve. Full breaths, let it go. One more nice deep breath there, let it ease out now. Let that ankle just ride back up the knee a little. Take hold of the right thigh with both hands, pull that through. Now if you're flexible enough to maintain your neutral whilst you do this, good for you, keep it going. But if you can't, like me, you might need to lose that neutral a little bit just to get the stretch on the go. So have 2 nice deep breaths there. And then gently lower that back down. Okay, last stretch for us. It's a hip twist, level 2. Feet and knees come together. Imagine they're bound together with rope. Arms out to the side, shoulder blades bolted to the floor. Find your neutral. You might need to flatten the back into the floor a little for this. Chin tucked into the throat. My knees roll to the left as my head rolls to the right. I pivot on the outside border of my left foot as I do this. Breathing out as I go. Breathing in as I come back to the middle through with my knees and my head back to the middle going in the opposite direction. Head to the left, knees to the right. Breathing out as I take it away. Breathing in as I come back through the middle. Breathing out as I take it away. Breathing in as I come back through the middle. Start to challenge the end of the range. Can you go any further? Of course, not at the expense of pain, but you might find if there's a tighter side, if you hold it at that point of tension and just have a couple of breaths at the end of range, you might get that a little bit further. So let's just hold the end of range. Nice deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, do those knees just go a little bit further. Another deep breath. And then gently breathe out. Roll those knees back into the middle, over to the opposite direction. Last little bit. Take those knees over, hold that position. Deep breath in. Breathe out, let those knees relax that little bit further if they can go any further. Last one. Breathe it out, let it go. And gently bring those knees back into the middle. Okay, now we're done at that. And you got a little bit of a stretch to boot. So that was a good session, I think. Hard work in there. And everybody looked to be doing really well, so well done. Looks like people are progressing nicely. So I'm going to leave it at that for this evening. Tummy's had a good workout, I hope. Bum muscles have had a good workout, I hope. I will hope to see you on Monday. Okay, stay safe, have a good weekend, and I'll see you later, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Rory.
No problem.
Thanks, Rory.
No problem.